Sorry. Now it's okay. Arjuna, I repeat. Arjuna asked what to worship. Krishna answers how to worship. Because it is not what you do, it is how you do that matters. So he says, what is important is this. When you say how that worship should be done, Krishna is giving various options there. You can worship like this, you can worship like this, you can worship like this. If you are not able to do this, do this, do this, do this. So here he gives 5 steps. And those 5 steps were starting from the highest. So the 5th one is the first one, the top floor. So he is starting from the top. Because Krishna is moving from the heavens. No? So his first thing he sees is the 5th floor. Helicopter, where it will land? Basement. You go on the helipad only. So from there you have to come down. So here it is entirely different. Because it is from the start, from the top. So the highest one he gives is to meditate. Or you can take it as Nididhyasana. Right? Either you can call it as Dhyana, if you are following this Ashtanga Yoga steps. Then it is Dhyana. When you look at it from that Vedanta system, in this Vedantic system, he goes, that is Nididhyasana. Suppose I am not able to do that Nididhyasana, which is more or less equivalent to this highest in the Jnana Yoga path. Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasana. So he says do that. Understood is get on to knowledge, Jnana Yoga, the highest. Then he makes it very clear. If you are not able to fix your mind, if you are not able to do Dhyana Yoga, then try this. Which means, I am not qualified for that. I am not able to do that. Do something else. That's where we were doing. So here we are taking it as Dhyana and and Nididhyasana similar. Okay. We are not taking it as, 2 different systems. There is a slight differences there. Even though we say there is a, technical differences there a bit. So we don't have to worry about that part of it. Nididhyasana is slightly different. Dhyanam is different. In our system, dhyana is clubbed along with upasana. Right. Saguna Brahman, if you do, that is dhyana. Nirguna Brahma, you do, that is Nididhyasana, technically. Okay. Now, for simpler purpose, I am just clubbing the 2. I'm taking it as, similar. Right? Because again, we will go back to the basic question. Saguna, Nirguna, which is... Because there he has already stated. Saguna Brahma Upasana people reach. Nirguna Brahma Upasana also reach. So either case you can reach. Right? But then there is a technical difference. These are all not necessary at this stage. So first we will make it simpler. So he said, let's club them together and take it as one, Dhyanam. So first he says, meditate. If you are not able to meditate, then we ask the question, why you are not able to meditate? What is the problem? Meditation is thought moving same direction, same thought repeating for a long period of time. No thought is not meditation, remember. People think, I reach a stage where I don't get any thoughts, sir. That's not meditation. Okay. Meditation is where you put in that effort to sustain that same thought for a length of time. Why your mind is not able to stay with that same thought? Right. If you are not able to stay with the same, means you are moving. Moving is what we call as wandering. Mind is wandering everywhere. So many thoughts keeps coming, particularly if you attempt. First time when you sit. That's why today we need to have an elaborate external preparation. You need a color scheme, and then you need that lighting. You need this one, and then they have to keep one agarbatti there. Some scented things, some fragrance have to be there. All that should be in alignment. And we have this Gita lectures, every time. With the hall people, we have a trouble. Every hall, all over the world. Any hall we go, there is a proper problem with the stage arrangement. Because stage arrangement here is what? One dais and one table. We just cover that with the white cloth. That's all it is. There's no flower pots. There's not decoration here, decoration. Nothing will be there. Nothing is there. Just the person has to come and sit. That person should be visible to everyone. Therefore, we keep that person elevated a bit so that visibility is there. The entire auditorium. He sits, he brings one notebook, keep the notebook, start. Avladana. You keep one pot there. Inside a pot, they make some holes, and then there is some lighting kept inside, and that should be reflecting. Then this, then that. Flower decoration, and it should be like Maharaja sitting, and that lighting should be in alignment with the dress of the person wearing. Designer costume. Now, all needed. The interesting part is the speaker says audience need it. Your business is to train them not to need it. Correct? Business, it's like, these people always fighting, Audience are asking for violence nowadays, sir. That's why violence has increased in the movies now. Audience are asking. The audience are saying what? Since they are showing only that, we have no other choice what to watch. Nowadays, no hero movies. Only anti-heroes. Smuggler, burglar, Pushpa. If Pushpa were to be real, Allu Arjun Gali. But Pushpa is such a big thing. Influence has gone to such an extent. David Warner has fallen for that. He is doing and he is going out. I say, hey. Friends. Now he says, as a director, why are you making... They say what? Sir, that's what audience likes, sir. What these fellows are saying. They say one day. Now, who... I'm totally confused. Whether audience are asking, therefore the movies are like that, or movies are like that, therefore our audience are No idea. See, all languages you see, lyrics, earlier, even if it is a duet, you can see the lyrics having the display of the words, beautiful words, even to display romance. Poets had that. I don't want to give examples. Already Pushpa is too much. Who don't need any external things. Without any external props, any external, paraphernalia, triggers, nothing. You just sit, close your eyes, and decide a thought, and your mind stays with that thought for a length of time, for a long period. If it can stay with that, it is called dhyana. If it is not staying there, we need to find out why. And that's what he's saying in the 9th verse. The 9th verse, he says, you are not able to do that. All this is not explicit, it's all implicit, okay? He says, you cannot get into the meditative mode. Why? Because your mind is wandering. So that wandering mind should be brought back. We have to identify why the mind is wandering. Why I am not able to meditate? Because mind is wandering. Next question is, why the mind is wandering? Because the mind is still carrying a tremendous value, a fascination towards wherever it is running. Mind is still not having God as the priority. It's not the primary priority. God is incidental priority. On the way, if I can see God, also good. I'm going for a wedding. Madurai, there is a wedding. Morning breakfast, early muhurtam, over. My train is only in the evening. What to do the whole day? Meenakshi Sundareswarar is there. Poor thing, Nobody to visit them. I'll give one short visit and come. You go to that, come back, have lunch, and then take your train. And you think you have done some good work. You will get only papa for that, not punya. It's not punya, remember. You go to Madurai for Meenakshi temple, you will get punya. Now, you go for the wedding. Incidentally, you don't know what to do in the wedding hall, so you go to the temple and come back. It's not allowed here. Mind is wandering. Why it is wandering? Because there's no priority. Why God is not taking priority? Which means something else has taken priority. Right? If the transcendental is not your priority, then terrestrial is your priority. So the mind is involved with the terrestrial entanglements. So he says, get back to the idea of put in that effort to pull the mind which is involved in the world. First finish that. Then come back. That's what he is calling as abhyasa. Verse 9. Verse 8. Dhyana. Verse 9, he says, do abhyasa. People think abhyasa literally means practice. Repeating the same thing again and again is called abhyasa. Literal meaning. But remember, these things you should not go by the literal meaning. These advices, you should be careful. There is a implied meaning. What is the implied meaning? Practice what? Practice the withdrawal first. That withdrawal of the mind is what is referred as vairagya, which he has already mentioned in chapter 6. So he says, you are not able to do that dhyana is because you are lacking vairagya. Develop that vairagya first. Dispassion towards the world. Get that first, he says. Why you are not able to meditate is there's no resolve. There's no firmness with the resolve that I have to. Mind is not resolved yet. Mind is not yet established with the basic conviction. How wrong it is to stay away from the truth. So, mind is slipping. So, to put it back, he says this, because only a dispassionate mind gets the power to concentrate. The mind infested with passion cannot concentrate. Forget about meditation. If you cannot concentrate, you cannot meditate. Right? So meditation is what? Na? Concentrated concentration. Concentration illa. Where you are going to get a concentrated concentration. See, that's what I said last class. Dissimilar, similar, same. We remember those words. Dissimilar thoughts, similar thoughts, same thought. If you are not able to have same thought, there is a very good possibility that you have skipped the similar thought to be entertained first. So he says, practice that. So if you are an intellectual person, your effort will be in one direction. If you are a devotional type, your effort will be in another direction. Okay. Verse 8, no difference. There we don't distinguish intellectual, emotional. There it says, it converges there. Because there, mind and intellect has achieved the confluence together. Now, you are not achieved, that means one of that is dominating you. So we say, if you are an intellectual, your practice is in one way. You do one thing, abhyasa. If you are a devotional type, you do abhyasa in another way. You see. But either case, the practice, that abhyasa that you are doing should be producing what? Vairagya. After vairagya, you attempt for dhyana. So he says, you're not able to do dhyana because of lack of vairagya. Now the question comes is, how do you develop that vairagya? Here we divide them into two categories. One group of intellectual people will develop vairagya in one way. Devotional people will develop vairagya in another way. For them, the practice is different. Suppose, sir, I am neither intellectual nor devotional. What to do? That's verse 10. Right. I am not fitting in verse 10 also. What to do? Verse 11. I am not fitting into verse 11 also, sir. He says, my prescription over. And verse 12 தான் ஒரு கூகுளி. இது up to verse 12, 11 வரைக்கும் steps clean-ஆ இருக்கும். 12 he will put on googly. That's as usual. Typical of Krishna style, that is. So he says, if you cannot do this, what do you do, sir? Devotional people, what do they do? For devotional people only, they gave that various options of taking a particular devata, right? Some deity, some god. Take the particular deity and god and start worshipping that. Because Vishwarupa God you cannot connect to. Right? Saguna, Nirguna. When you say Saguna, when he is referring to this Vishwarupa Ishvara, Vishwarupa God, which is not possible for you. If that is not possible for you, what you have to do? If Vishwarupa is not possible, take up Ekarupa for devotional people. Right. You take one Ekarupa and then you have to dedicate a particular time, a particular place, particular pattern of doing the upasana, all that you do, which can be anything. This is where this Ishtadevata concept comes into picture. Suppose I am not able to fix any particular Ishtadevata for me, sir. Person. Right. My mind is not what they call as, Layam. See, Layam now you can't explain. Absorption. If at all you can't do translate. In music, they use this word, Layam. See, almost impossible to get a musician achieving Layam. Very tough. Raga learning is easy, relatively. Okay, putting little effort, you can pick up Raga and the Tala and all that. Layam, they will suddenly use the word Layam. Layam, na? It should fuse. அப்படின்னா என்ன ஃபியூஸ் பண்ணணும்? Layam, if you want to experience, Madurai Mani here is the classic example. Weird things, sounds and all he will make. But it fits in perfectly in the note. How that comes, how that calculation happens, how this construction happens, how the things, nothing. It just happens. It just flows. Effortlessly, it's flowing. It's like that. Layam. You take that Ishtadevata means that, where your mind just melts and merges with it, becomes one. That Devata you have to take, where all your emotional transactions happens with that deity. You don't transact your emotional things with the world. That's practice. Practice is that. That is where we see, Tyagaraja doing all his emotions. He will take only to Rama. Suddenly he will say, Rama is everywhere. Rama is everything. If Rama is everything, right, why was he upset when his Rama Vigraha was thrown? You know that, no? His brother got so annoyed. Somebody advised his brother, this guy is, not working, not earning. He is a burden. But brilliant musician. 2-3 kacheris if he does, enough. All of us can prosper. This Rama, this guy is going on like mad. Why he is doing all this is because the Vigraha is there in the house, no? The idol. So the brother thought, one day he took the idol and threw it in the river. And next day morning he wakes up and he sees the Rama Vigraha is missing. Not that, the Panchaloka, this, that, chumma local one Vigraha that is. Not gold. With the diamond studded Vigraha. Normal Vigraha that is. You go to the market, you'll get another one. He was crying and crying and crying. That Vigraha is missing. Hey, you only wrote, no? 2 days before you composed a song saying what? Rama is everywhere. If you know Rama is everywhere, then why are you? That bhavana is called that Ishtadevata. That transaction. It's impossible for you to pull. Train your mind to fix like that first. That's the abhyasa, he says. Train your mind that way. Thereby, the mind will get associated with God more and more and more and more and more. A point will come where all its transactions will happen through that God only. Good, bad, indifferent. Any experience that he has, punya or papa, doesn't make any difference. Everything will be transacted with God. So this is one way. This is mostly for the devotional type. Right. Then you have the intellectual group. Intellectual group develop this vairagya. How? The disinterest with reference to the world. There's no fascination towards the world. That's called vairagya. They say one of the method is to develop that is through viveka. By developing a sharp viveka. And viveka is that ability to understand the higher and lower. What is higher and what is lower. That's viveka shakti. The discerning ability. And that discerning ability by itself will not. The discerning ability should be practiced again and again. Only then it will become vairagya. You see that? That viveka should be practiced. Repeatedly, you have to reflect on the same understanding that you have got. Whatever understanding you have. That viveka shakti will give an understanding. Okay. And 90% of us stop there only. Why? I have understood. That's what happens to you when you come to the class. இதுதான் தெரியுமே. Yeah, I know this. It's so interesting, you know. This I know. That I know. 2 days back, one fellow came. I was speaking to him. He said, "Sir, what I have to do?" I was explaining step by step. I said, "Okay, do this, not this. This is why you have to do this. Every point I'm saying, he says, that I know. Every point I say, that I know. Then I said, okay, if you know this, next step you should be knowing. Adudan sir therilla. After I explained, he says, yeah, that I know. Said, and I can't tell who it is. It's a tragedy of life. When you develop this vivek, you have this basic intelligence, basic capacity to understand, discern. The discerning ability is there as human being. When you have that, what happens? You apply. You get some understanding. And we stop at that, move out. This I have understood, sir. Neutralization I have understood, sir. Next concept. Standardization. Next concept. Sharira Traya. Explain. Panchakosha, Viveka, explain. I have understood. I have understood. I have understood. In fact, I can teach, Sharira Traya better than you. You only confuse people. I make it very easy and so engaging and so entertaining. I'll give so much of knowledge to them. No, that's not what is referred. That will not give vairagya. How viveka will move to vairagya is viveka should be repeated. Repeatedly, you have to reflect, you have to inquire, you have to investigate the same understanding that you have got. You follow? If at all we question, most of us don't question. If at all any question comes, that question is only with reference to what you don't understand. That's not reflection. Reflective capacity is to question what you have understood, what is so clear to you. See, when something is clear to you, why will you question it? You assume that you have got the knowledge, you have got that wisdom. Vedanta says no. You have to probe not what you don't understand. You have to inquire what you have understood. Chandogya Upanishad, the student again and again asks, explain. The master explains through another way. He says, explain. Master says, again explain. Again explain. And he is not an illiterate. He has completed the study of the 4 Vedas. Right. Again and again, 9 times he asks. He repeat. And the father goes on repeating tirelessly. Teaches the Upanishad. Comes in the end of the Upanishad. The beginning, the end of the Upanishad, he says teaches. Why? That is called reflection. That's called manana. You are not able to do nididhyasana. Why? Because from Shravana, you have directly jumped into nididhyasana. Because when you hear, you feel that you are understanding everything. Why? Because you can follow whatever has been said. Isn't it? Like people ask, sir, already you are in the 12th chapter. If I attend your class, will I understand? See, even if you are attending for the last 20 years, you will not understand. Right? One. Second one is, anyone can come and sit in the class and understand. Is there any difficulty? The first lecture I heard Swamiji's was on illusion. Illusion he was explaining. Theory of perception, Buddhist is starting illusion. I was there as a guest, visitor. It was a shock to me. I said, wow, is it true? Definitely it must be false. That's a clear conclusion I had. But then, I suddenly got the doubt. Suppose by chance he is correct. What happens to us? Imagine, I wish definitely he is wrong and we are correct. That's my wishful thinking. But this doubt also came. Because this man is speaking with such conviction. You can follow. It's not a big difficulty. It's easy to follow. As long as the speaker is speaking sense. If he's blabbering nothing, and at least you can understand he is blabbering, no? Isn't it? Even if the fellow is blabbering something, you can understand he is blabbering. You can follow these ideas. That's not a problem. The mistake we all make is, since I'm able to follow the sequence of thought, since I'm able to understand as the points were explained, we think we have understood. Appreciation is not equivalent to understanding. What is happening to you is appreciating an idea. Standardization idea was appreciated. Yeah, correct. Attachment idea is appreciated. That's about it. That doesn't mean you have understood attachment. When does that understanding gets deeper is only when you go through the second step, that manana step. So he says, abhyasa, what you have to do? Get back to that practice of mananam before nididhyasanam. What is that, sir? What you have heard, what you have understood from whatever you have heard. Investigate that. Not what you have not understood. Questioning what you have not understood is Shravanam. Questioning what you have understood, what is so clear to you, what you are so convinced about, is called Mananam. He says, practice that Shravana and Manana properly. Abhyasa. By the practice of Abhyasa Yoga, get back. Along with that, you have to do few other things also, remember. Now, this itself will not give Vairagya. Right? There are other things to be done to get that Vairagya. Another thing that you have to do with Vairagya is you are getting involved in the world, you are fascinated by the world because you have seen the world giving you pleasure. Correct? If there is pain only you are getting from the world, by now you would have got Vairagya. That's why first discovery of Buddha says what? Life is painful. For that you have to investigate so much, which means what? You need a penetrative understanding to see that life is painful. So you have to consciously plug the mind, its fascination, to look only the pleasure side of it. You have to see every pleasure comes with pain. There is no pleasure without pain. For every pleasure, you have to pay the price. Either pay the price and enjoy, or enjoy and then pay the price. ஒன்று கேஷ் கொடுத்து வாங்குங்க, இல்லைன்னா கிரெடிட் கார்டு. Isn't it? What is the difference? Prepaid, postpaid. Only two chances, no? Life. That's what he says. What you have to do is, you have to consciously see the dosha, the defect in every pursuit. Dukkhanudosham darshanam, he said no earlier. What do you have to do? He says, he's already stated that. I'm only repeating what he has given already, the formula. He says, if you want to develop Vairagya, one, what you have to do, sir? Viveka. Right? Viveka Anusandhana. You have to keep doing it again and again and again. You have to do that Viveka. One. Second one is, Dosha Darshanam should be done. Because right now you are not seeing. You are addicted to the pleasures of the world. Why? Because the intellect is not seeing the other side. Intellect is perceiving only the one side. The pleasure side only is seen. You see, in a hotel when you go, which side you see defines, no? The menu card. If you are going to pay, left hand side. Right hand side. Right hand side. If somebody else is paying,
right hand side doesn't
doesn't exist. We don't even look into that side actually. Who cares? He's paying, what's your problem? So dosha darshanam is what you have to consciously do. You have to see what is the defect of the world, what is the problem with the world, how the world is deceiving you and enslaving you. அதுதான் தோஷம். What is the dosha in the world is? It deceives you. How it deceives and how it enslaves you. Because any pleasure has this problem. What is the fundamental problem of any pleasure, sir? Is it makes you addicted to it. The moment you get a pleasure, you will get addicted. You start getting a pleasure from the study of Vedanta, you will get addicted to Vedanta. That's all. You get addicted to temples. You go to this temple, I go to that temple, I go to this temple, I go to that temple. It's addiction. I say, if you, from one level we say, instead of going to pub, you go to temple. That is better. You know, going around in the park, circle, morning walk. Say, instead of that, go to the temple and do the same thing, no? 2 in 1. You get health and you get punya also. And prasad also you get. And instead of putting that money to that, coffee, MTR coffee, sir. எவ்வளோ? 56 rupees. 53. 53 rupees coffee you have to drink every day. Buy two also, if you take 25. In hundi, you have to put only 10 rupees. You get prasadam free. You get, good, no? Temple will get some money. You get some punya. And you get something to munch. And you can sit how long ever you want in the temple. And more you sit, they will enjoy. Hotel alla, more you sit, they'll say what? Get out, they'll say. எவ்வளோ அட்வான்டேஜ் இருக்கு. And then when you walk barefoot, acupressure, இதெல்லாம் we have to tell now. To tell a fellow to go to temple. Say, crackpots. Why they had, the stones being put in the temples, why? One fellow, reasoning, logic. Because of acupressure. You can't think anything away from your body. Such a tragedy it is. Everything should be connected to the welfare of your body. That much of body consciousness has come into picture today. Everything connected to physical body. Nothing else. Even psychological also we don't touch. Very rare. A temple is a place, a spiritual place. We should give an explanation using spiritual dimension. I can't understand why it has to be connected to physical dimension. Weird. We are. Anywhere you go, remember, you get pleasure, you will get addicted. That's why Isavasya cautions. Andam tamah praveshanti. He says, Andam tamah, greater darkness. E vidyam upasate. Those who pursue knowledge. Pursue knowledge, this is not all the fellows studying. Deriving pleasure out of study. Where are they? Isavasya says they are in greater darkness. What a beautiful advice. Only a Upanishadic master can give such an advice. You need tremendous wisdom to say that. Any pleasure you get, your mind has a tendency to get addicted. And getting addicted is the way to enslave you. Slavery. So interesting. We are fighting against British non-cooperative movement, right? One of the biggest. But it is so interesting. Gandhiji never called up the army, navy, police, bureaucrats to participate in non-cooperative movement. You know that, no? History. I am not concocting anything, okay? In fact, he sent Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel to speak to the Navy mutiny, 1946, 1945-46. Navy mutiny. He said, no, no, no. You should cooperate with whom? With British. See, non-cooperative movement. What they were doing is actually non-cooperative, no? Weird logic. If you want to imagine, because Gandhi in early 20s, 1920s, one word of Gandhi would have been moved the whole country. Even if not, 100% of army, navy, bureaucrats, police were to follow. Not necessary. Even if it is 60% of them were to follow him, 50% of them were to follow Gandhi and say, we are not going to cooperate. What would have happened? Hypothetical only. Government functionary would have lost completely. How many how many British is going to be sitting here to manage the country of the size of India? Undivided India, not divided India. Okay, remember that. Undivided India. Huge. Colossal failure. We would have got independence 25 years before. Slavery, prolonged. I can't understand why he did do that. It looks so logical. Slavery, it says, enslaves. How that slavery gets prolonged is through deception. You see, slavery. He is also slave only, no? Gandhi also slave only. You can't think this point. We want, British to get out of this country. British is staying here because of whom? Not because of the general public. He is only asking the general public to be non-cooperative. What these guys can do? They will throw all the clothes. I myself had only 4 clothes in my house. That also this guy told, and these people went and burnt it. He should have actually told whom to not to cooperate. The police who were standing there and shooting this Jallianwala Bagh. To them he should have said no. He didn't even call for that actually. I have not read anywhere. In fact, that Navy mutiny, he sent Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel to negotiate with them to surrender. Patel negotiated and they surrendered in 1 week. Imagine that Navy mutiny would have continued. Army also would have joined. Imagine Army and Navy. Always remember, slavery will happen only through deception, which is far, far greater slavery than slavery through oppression. Because slavery through oppression is visible, perceptible. If it is perceptible, it's very easy for us to get out of it. But the deceptive slavery, how the world enslaves you, is through deception. It deceives you. The mind deceives. That's why we say mind is a perfect politician. Everybody's mind. The perfect politicians. If you are not having a strong mind, you cannot be a politician. I'm not talking about mind intellect here. Remember, I'm using mind as the philosophic mind. That pig-headedness should be there. That mind is such a, politically manipulative. How it is manipulating you, you should see that. That defect, that dosha, when you see, automatically you will disconnect from the mind. You will not follow the track. You will not fall for the trap set by the mind. Then you can concentrate. Otherwise, you will fall into the trap, you will be addicted. You will get deceived, you will get enslaved. And you will not even know that you are slave. You see, it's impossible. Therefore, what you have to do, sir, when you are reflecting, what to reflect? Not only on the concepts. The first one is conceptual understanding. Viveka Shakti to develop. Don't do Viveka here. Here and all, if you do Viveka, nothing will happen. Right? Don't try to analyze your experience. Analyzing your experience, you will get more and more involved in that experience only. Right? Don't do that mistake, because a lot of them do that. Anything we say, immediately you connect it to your experience. Attachment is talk, immediately you will say, yeah, that fellow attached, this fellow attached, I am attached, he is attached, she is attached. All that will come. You say, no. Viveka Shakti is to understand the concept of attachment. Second step is don't stop there. If you stop there only, what will happen? You'll become a pandit. You'll become an expert in the subject. You will not be having a superficial knowledge. You will have a deep-rooted knowledge, understanding of the concept. Okay, but that will not give vairagya. After developing this, with that reflection and mananam and all that, with that, you direct it to see the dosha first, you say. Right? Don't keep stopping at that level. You have to do one more. Right? First step is theoretical. And then practical application. Only when you do all these three together, Viveka will come. You do any one mistake, Vairagya will not come. You see? So first one, theoretically, you have to be solid, rock solid in your theoretical understanding of all the concepts. That comes only through repeated reflection on this, which is what I said, Viveka. Right? Shravana, Manana. Then what you have to do, sir, you have to see that dosha, the defect has to be seen. Second one. Suppose if you keep on seeing only the dosha, a point will come where you will become pretty cynical. Instead of Viveka Shakti leading to Vairagya, dispassion, you will start hating. You see, which is what we see. Very many masters also have fallen a trap to this. They were not able to control that kama in them, the lust in them. Therefore, what do? They decry women body. Many of them. Lot of people are there who attack and say how ugly it is. And that ugliness will be presented to such a degree. Why? Is because they did not do the third step. Viveka they have done. Dosha darshanam they have done. The third aspect was missing. Right? The third aspect is the capacity to see a thing as it is. Value of it. What is the real value of that? Which is what we call as yadartha darshanam. First is dosha darshanam. Parallelly with dosha darshanam, you should have yadartha darshanam also. If yadartha darshanam is not there, to offset the possibility of you falling into the trap of cynicism, negativity, hatred, in the name of Vairagya, Vairagi, you will become Udasina. See, so we say don't fall into that trap. How to escape from that trap? Now, offset that by what? Don't say I will do it with the pleasure. No, no. See as it is. There is a definite difference between driving Maruti 800, driving a Honda City, driving a BMW, driving Rolls Royce. There is a difference. You should be able to see that. You should be able to see the value of each one of that. If you cannot see each one of those values, then you will en bloc, you will start only rejecting it without realizing what is the real worth of it, real value of it. We say, that is why we say, don't think the world is absolutely negative. It's not negative. Mind is not negative. Dosha Darshanam will say mind is negative. Dosha Darshanam will say world is negative. World is deceptive, world is enslaving you, mind is deceptive, mind is enslaving, mind is bad, mind is bad, mind is bad. We'll go on and on and on. But then we say, reality. What is the reality of it, sir? Attachment spells sorrow. Therefore, you should get detached. How to get detached? Attached to the higher. This is called Yadartha Darshanam. I repeat the steps. Think on that. Attachment spells sorrow. Therefore, get detached. How? Attached to the higher. Will that not spell sorrow? Yes. Should I not get detached from that? Yes. How to get detached? Attached to the higher. Higher than the higher. Then if I get attached there, will I not get? Yes. Then what do you have to do, sir? Higher. Higher. That's how you grow. Like how you step on a ladder. You firmly place your foot on the higher. The fact that you are pressed there, firmness, will lift the other leg automatic. You don't have to put in extra effort to lift the leg. It's automatic. So how do you develop, sir? Paya. How do you obtain this vairagya? Is through viveka first. Then dosha darshanam. To offset the dosha darshanam only, we have this yadartha darshanam. Offset the possibility of a mistake in that, possibility of us getting into that negativity. We say, you practice this. So an intellectual person will build vairagya in this fashion. A devotional person will develop vairagya in the other aspect of taking Saguna Brahma Upasana to Ishtadevata Upasana, whatever he will worship. Worshipping means what? He will have very many restrictions with reference to that, very many associated things, Allah will come into picture there. So I'm not focusing on that part right now. So this is the rule. How do you develop that? Is you take, then you transact, you start associating with that deity so much so the deity becomes a singular source for you to have all your transactions of life. Thereby, the mind which is moving into many areas brought to one. You narrowed it down to one. Then one aspect of that you can take and keep focusing. Nothing else. Like Kamban says about Rama, says, Tol Kandar, Tole Kandar. He is walking in the street, those who saw his shoulders could not take their eye away from the shoulders to any other aspect of him. You see, those who saw one aspect of Rama, those who saw his eyes could not take their eye away from eyes. Those who saw his shoulders could not take their eye away from these shoulders. That fixation comes automatic. That's for the devotional people. Right? If you are devotional, move in that direction. Intellectual, move in this direction. Sir, what to do? Yes. I'm not able to fix something like that in my life. I go there, I see. This is what, in Shiva temples, there is a rule they have. In Shiva temple, when you go to the temple, you are supposed to sit there for some time, only then you should come out. It's a rule. Why they said that is to test, do you have the capacity to just look and stay? Now you want to stay in Tirupati Balaji. There 200% sure, no chance. No chance for you. 1 second if you get full, it's too much. Even for that, you have to wait for 7 hours. If they allow only 1 second per person. The number is so much, what they will do? Imagine they give 5 seconds per person. Your 7th Janma, you will get a chance. You have to put a tag. Your 7th Janma, you will be given there. Entry. Tag put amchiruvom. Why? Number is so much, sir. There the fellow says, all the way he goes. Banshankari we have, no? Malleswaram we have, right? Poor fellow, nobody is there to see him. He was there empty. Simply go and keep looking at, no? Krit Tirupati, do you know there is one Krit Tirupati? Hardly anybody will go. Alameri Mangai Thayar. Thayar temple, nobody is there. Everybody says Srinivasa, Srinivasa, Govinda, Govinda only goes there. This side you go, only about 20% of that crowd will be here. That's all it is. 100 fellows go there, 20 fellows go here. That's all. Otherwise, nobody. You come down a bit, there's another temple. Hardly you will see anyone. So interesting to see people. Mylapore, the Kabalishwara temple, crowd like anything. Same Mylapore, we have Karneshwara temple. In my house, they didn't know there is a Karneshwara temple till I went there. I said, I've been to the Karneshwara temple to clean the temple premises. Every Sunday I would go morning, to clean the temple premise there. So we'll go there and pack out, because by then, all the weeds would have grown, all the bushes and things, and the neighboring, everybody will throw their thing there to clean the temple. We used to go Sunday. Engada pona? Karneshwara temple. Enga? Hardly anybody goes. I'm not saying now you only said, sir. So I'm going to search for all the temples where nobody is going, I go. And then get robbed and come back. And then say, you only sent me. I'm not saying that. See, your ability to keep seeing God and be engaged with that, to derive pleasure in that engagement, needs a lot of effort. So he says, do that abhyasa. So if you are unable to fix your mind steadily on me, then seek to reach me by Abhyasa Yoga or Dhananjaya, winner of wealth. You have won so many wealth, useless wealth. Dhananjaya. You're a pauper. The name only Dhananjaya. Kannayiram. Say no. A blind fellow. Perana Kannayiram. Like that. Dhananjaya. He is a satire way of calling him. Dhananjaya. Inna dhana you have. Useless dhana. Get this, says. Suppose I am not able to do that also, sir. I am not able to develop that vairagya. I am not having the capacity to do the reflection. I am not able to see that dosha. I don't have this capacity to see the things as they are. That is also difficult for me. What to do then? 10. Beautiful step, he comes. And it's so interesting to see every step, the drop. You can see how in the flight we see, suddenly from 30,000, they'll drop to 10,000. In, 3-4 seconds, you will be in 10,000, actually. The drop. Like that you will see. From 8 to 9, there's a drop. From 9 to 10, you will see a big drop. Boom. Drop. 10 and 11, you will not feel big drop. 10 and 11 is from 10,000 to 5,000. And then landed on ground. Yes.
Yathartha Darshanam, he said, seeing things as it is. How does it help?
That doesn't help by itself. This is what the problem is. Many people think Yathartha Darshanam itself will give vairagya. No, that will not give vairagya. Yathartha Darshanam will only offset the dosha Darshanam slipping into negative. That's all. By itself, nothing will happen. But today we find a lot of people talking about, see the world as it is. As it is, as it is, as it is. Nothing happens to you. You can try rest of your life. Vairagya will not come. You can't pull yourself away. More and more you see as it is the mind which is infested with desires. You are feeding it. That is the deception. I said deception, no. What is deception? This is deception. Now you will say what? You only said I am supposed to do, Yathartha Darshanam. What I am doing, sir? I am seeing as it is. And then you become a slave. You see, so Yathartha Darshanam by itself will not. Yathartha Darshanam should be backed by 2 steps. This is only 3rd step. Step 1 is Viveka. What is Viveka Anusandhanam, sir? Or Viveka Anudarshanam. You can put it that way also. Any way you want. It's just playing with words. That's about it. You have to keep repeatedly reflect over what you have understood. Along with that, you have to put in one extra effort. What is the extra effort, sir? Dosha Darshanam. Now that plus this if you do, there is a good possibility of you slipping into hatred. Vijigupsa you will get. What the Upanishads calls Vijigupsa. You will get Vijigupsa towards. That's why I gave the example of this great masters. A lot of them are there. You read their text. They will talk so bad about women's body. Oh, you'll feel like vomiting. The luck will become like that. Why they do that? They are only teaching only one facet. Remember, they are not speaking the whole truth. They are only showing the one facet. What is it, sir? Dosha Darshanam. How to see Dosha Darshanam. That's all you have to do there. But that's not total. You see, that's why they speak so bad about it, so negative about it. A sample of that is what you will see in Bhajagovindam. A sample where he rips open your life from every angle. Fortunately, he presents it with such a musical tone. And thanks to Yamma Subbalashmi, her voice and that music has made that song so pleasant to listen to, not to understand. The music puts you off completely, does you. Such a fantastic music that is. Listen to her. You try to understand what happens. It is so negative. Every facet is what is wrong, what is wrong, what is wrong, what is wrong. You, when you read only Bhajagovindam and ask a fellow, what do you think of the author? He will say what? A cynical fellow he is. Cynicism has come. He is very negative. A lot of them said, Holocaust of attachment. He's writing Holocaust of attachment. When he speaks about attachment and all that, for about few months he was speaking only about attachment. One of the close devotee, he came and told, I think nowadays Swamiji has become cynical. Old age. This he said about 15 years back. Not now. I think the old age. I said, yeah. What am I to tell him? He said, yeah, correct. Because from the day one I saw him, he was old. I don't know him young at all, actually. Always old only, yes. Like Brahma, he was. Always old. What is this? If you see only that facet, there is a very good chance for you to fall into the trap of Vijigupsa to the world. That Vijigupsa will have a similarity with disliking, hatred, will have a similarity with reference to this. That's why you will see all this, people who, parting, they file divorce, or when they, the lovers, what do they call it? They break up. Break up. I was searching for that word. Break up. Terla. எல்லாம் யூனியனே தான் பழக்கம் நமக்கு. No breakup for me. So, breakup. When they do the breakup, it's so interesting. I see. They do the breakup. They experience depression. Post breakup, there is a depression. During that period, what thoughts they are entertaining, if you see carefully, you say, sir, if I keep on thinking of all the negatives of her, it's easy for me to get rid of her, from my mind. If I think good about her, no, I cannot. So please tell me, because you are an expert in telling all negative things. That's why they come for advice. Because you attend a Bhajagovindam class. Hello, he says, you talk always, what is wrong. You have never said what is right about the world. So, can you lend me some idea to see what is wrong with the world? What is wrong with her? What is wrong with her? What is wrong in the relationship? How bad she is? How bad she is? So, more and more, if I think of bad, what will happen, sir? My fascination towards her will drop, no. Vedanta says, this will drop, but you will pick up another thing. You're only exchanging, that's all. What you are exchanging, sir? You are exchanging 100 1 rupee coins to take 100 rupee note. Avladhaan vidyasam. If at all any growth that is happening in the name of spirituality in the world, today, all that is going on is what? Exchange. Either you give a note and take coins, or you give coins and take notes. But the net worth is the same. No difference. You are on the same level. Nothing, no change. Nothing has happened. You say, this is as wrong as you are getting involved. So, neither raga nor dvesha. Remember, vairagya is what, sir? Vairagya is no raga dvesha. There is neither raga nor dvesha. Now, even though the word vairagya is referring only to raga, you see, no fascination, no liking. Immediately we think, oh, does it mean disliking it? It's not disliking. Oh, does it mean indifference? No, no, it's not indifference also. அப்போ அது என்ன சார்? That is where anudarshanam comes in. See, when you want to get out of your raga liking, there are two chances. Either you can slip into dvesha or disliking or udasina, indifference. You will become indifferent towards it. When you become indifferent towards it, also you are not affected. So you will feel, I am having vairagya now. But that's not vairagya. You see. And Krishna says, practice, do put in effort to develop that vairagya first. In that process, to offset these two negative positions that you may take in, you need that third effort of what, sir? Yadhartha darshan. That's all. Yadhartha darshanam itself will not give anything. You see, that itself will not give. It's like decoration. Decoration is not food. But without decoration, food is what? Not so attractive. See, if you want to give food, if you want to feed a child, how do you feed? Decorate it properly and give. Same idli, chutney, sambar. Don't simply pour and give, like how you give it to adult. The look itself is ugly. Says. Present it in such a way that the child is able to connect to it. Presentation. By presentation, taste will not improve. Presentation நல்லா தான் சார் இருக்கு, வாயில வைக்க முடியல. Look is nice, but taste is horrible. In food, what is the essential part? Taste is the essential part, and the food value is the essential part there. Nutritive value there is the essential part of the food. But without that decoration, what will happen? There's a chance of you not reaching it. So decoration only attracts you towards the food. That's why in the hotels, they have pictures. Nice pictures they will have. Advertisement. Cheese. It will go. And rubber. No cheese I have seen. You pull, comes like that. I have tried the best of cheeses. Varda. Engi varadu. But in the advertisement, you see, it will keep on coming. Advertisement. But that itself will not. Advertisement will make a person take for that food first time. First nostril will go in because of the aroma, because of the appeal, presentation. But once it touches the mouth, second spoon, second serving, he will go. When? Not because of decoration, not because of aroma. So essential part is the taste of it, remember. Will he continue rest of his life? Depends not on just the taste also, it depends on the food value. Right? So essential dimension is that. But this is, without this add-on, your reaching first time will be a mistake. Now people started giving so much of importance to that decoration now. Add-ons tiny. பேஸ் எல்லாம் ஒன்றுமே கிடையாது, எல்லாம் ஆட் ஆன். எவ்ரிதிங் இஸ், ஈவன் கார் பீப்புள் கோ ஃபார் தி accessories. We're not going for the value of it. This Yadartha Darshanam will give you what? By itself will not give Vairagya. Dosha Darshanam by itself can give Vairagya, but there is always a risk element involved of you slipping into disliking it, hatred. You can develop a Vijigupsa or Udasina, indifference. You will switch off. I don't care. Either you will get into the hatred mode or you get into the I don't care attitude. You see, I don't bother what they think about me. That's Vairagya alla. That is indifference. You see, indifference. What do people talk about me? I don't care about it. Vairagya alla. Indifference. That Udasina. So, Dosha Darshanam can give, it is designed to give Vairagya, but there is a possibility of you slipping into Vijigupsa or what is it? Indifference. Udasina. So, to avoid that, consciously what you have to do, like how acrobats walk, if they are going to fall in this side, consciously they move the body on the other side. See, thus they get the balance. Otherwise they fall. So to offset only this, Yadartha Darshanam was given to us. Don't think by seeing things as it is, anything is going to happen to you. Because you are incapable of seeing things as it is. Don't even attempt. When you will be able to see after the first step and the second step, after getting that viveka and then rooting yourself in that viveka, deep rooted viveka, then dosha darshanam, then comes yadartha darshanam. Straight away from aviveka you come to yadartha darshanam, impossible. So if you say, sir, I'm not a viveki, I don't have that viveka shakti, if you say, how can you see things as they are? Not possible. So step 1, deep rooted viveka, repeated reflection on the same understanding. 2, see how the mind is deceiving and enslaving, or how the world is deceiving and enslaving, the defect. Then see there is a value to it. Don't think the world has zero value. Don't think the mind has zero value, not a negative value. Manasyeva manushyanam karanam bandha mokshayo. Mind is the cause of your bondage. Mind is the cause of your liberation also. This is Yadartha Darshanam. Okay, you don't start that. The problem is, the moment you heard this, now you will say, sir, this is also exactly what I am also telling. If you start like this, where you will be? In bandha only. You can never reach to moksha. Mind, world is such a divine place, sir. It is a beautiful thing. What a fantastic world. Like this Alvar saying, Pachaima Malai Pol Meni, Pavadavai Kamalachenkan, Achuta, Amarariyare, Ayardam Kurunde Yennum, Ichuvai Tavirayan Poi, Indiralohamalum Achuvai Perinum Venten, Arangamanaharulan. I am not interested, man. All this. Indraloka, even if I get that post of being Indra, All useless. All that I want is what? Just to stand here and keep looking at your. Another fellow says, Padiyai kadanduvun pavadavai kanbeni. I'll just be a stone slab in your temple to see your beautiful face. Lips, actually. To see your pavadavai, says the beautiful lips of yours. To see that, I will be a stone slab in your. This joy is far, far superior to even looking at you in Vaikunta. Vaikunta la bore. This is far more interesting. To their eyes, the world is divine. Right? You can repeat that mantra. You can repeat that song and you can sing better also. You may be able to sing that better than, even Periyalvar can sing. Say, wow, you sing better than me. But you are nowhere near him. This Yadhartha Darshanam is the last step. Remember. Don't start with it. So, in Abhyasa for whom, sir? Abhyasa for the intellectual group. How do you train your intellect? You train your intellect through these 3 steps. Through repeated reflection, through seeing how deceiving and enslaving, then seeing things for what it's worth. Develop the ability to see the things for what it's worth. No exaggerated value, no exaggerations. You don't undervalue it nor overvalue that. What is the value of that? That much respect should be given to it. That much value should be given to it. That much appreciation should be there. Right? Just because it is your, granddaughter, some stupid drawing. One fellow trying, he puts one circle, ting, 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 ting. He says, "This is me." He says, "Wow, what a painting! We should frame it." What is that? That doesn't mean what painting, fatal you painting. Who says this is painting? You see, that is painting. Painting are there. Neither do this nor do that. You see it as that innocence of the child attempting to do something, understand that, appreciate that, and then leave it at that. When you want to clear the house, pack all the things and throw. Don't preserve it. You preserve. This is the first drawing of the person. What is he going to do with that? Huh? Imagine you are having that panda, La? Naren had, no? Imagine you have that panda and gift him that. He is getting, his postdoc. The fellow is getting. I think he's the only fellow doing the subject in the world, I suppose. Some subject he is studying. I don't know what subject is that also. Field. Maybe 3 fellows will be there. One is the HOD. Entire department. Professor only, student only. You give him. It's insult. You see, it's not a gift. It's an insult. Remember. You don't do that at this stage. You appreciate that at that stage. And then what you have to do? Move. The tragedy is, you see in the houses, what all you keep shows what is your condition. Inside. How much is there inside? You will know. Unbelievable, I tell you. The mind, asking to keep for what? The child is drawing something, it is so interesting. Yes, of course, it's a nice thing. He gave happy birthday card. The card that he prepared then, you're holding it on. 80th birthday, the fellow is taking that and seeing and crying. Ooh. I don't know for what he's crying now. I've seen them, take that old things, keep, discard. For whatever it's worth, that much value you should give. Nothing more, nothing less. But that comes after you see the dosha. Suppose if you reverse the step, sir, I'll start from this and then I will go to that and then I will go to that. Alla nadakadu. Same sequence only you have to do. If you change the sequence, it will damage. You switch off the engine, bring the vehicle to the neutral or the first gear, whatever you do. Release the clutch, then put on your parking handbrake. First thing, you bring the car to the stop, put the handbrake. It will damage the vehicle. And the sequence, you cannot change the sequence. If you change the sequence, what will happen? It will damage the vehicle. Same way, the sequence has to be there. What is the sequence, sir? Viveka, Dosha Darshanam, and Yadartha Darshanam. Stick to that. Intellectual. Devotional, one Devata you take and do Upasana with reference to that Devata. Upasana, remember, Upasana is not doing puja. Right? Upasana is mental association. Right? It's not physically doing puja. I do puja every day, sir. That is karma. That is physical. Upasana is a mental worship. Classic example I have given you. Upasana, immediately remember this man, Pusalar. A man who built a temple in the mind. Mentally, he built a temple, and that took him 2.5 years. Every day, what he was doing, sir, simply sitting. He will have breakfast, come and sit. And then he'll go for lunch. Halfway lunch, he will come out. Oh, wait. He'll come out. Exactly like as though the work is actually happening. The cement fellow has to come, that fellow has to come, this has to come, that has to happen. Wiring has to be done, carpentry has to be done, this is broken. Oh my God, halfway through there is an error. What to do now? Panic. All that he had there mentally. That's Upasana. Upasana is to do mental. It is Manasa Vyapar. It is mental transaction. Emotional transaction. That's what I said. Emotional transaction means what? All your emotional relationships that you can ever have happens with the deity. You will see the deity as your friend, you will see the deity as your beloved, you will see the deity as your disruptor, see him as Lord, you will see him as this, you will see him as that. You may see anything. But you will have all the things directed to that one. That's why we call it as Ishta Devata. Now you have a choice. Now we have our departmental store is very big. 3-year store. You get inside, you will not know. And we invent also new gods. You know that, no? Ours is the only culture in the world. We invent gods. Bodyguard Muniswaran. You didn't know this? Bodyguard Muniswaran is a latest addition. That in Chennai, 70% of vehicles getting registered go there first. because the deity is designed to protect the body of the vehicle. Adan body god Munishwar. That Munishwar Valley Adan. Before car manufacturing, God wasn't there. Only after the cars and trucks and lorry and all that came into picture, they have that body god Munishwar. All that you go there, I'll tell you where it is. Central Station, bang outside there is a flyover, right? The other side of the flyover, right hand side. You see when you go from here, full traffic jam. Cars and trucks, all these big shots. Sometimes you will see all big cars there. Imported cars all are gone. Why not bodyguard Munishwaran? You want him, will there. For this you have a god, for that you have a god, this you have a god. So many gods are there. Population is more than human beings. You don't have that problem. Ishtadevata is to your choice. You don't say this is how it is, that's how it is. You choose the god the way you want. The same god will be viewed by people also differently. You see, Surdas Krishna is totally different from Mirabai's Krishna. There's no connection. Impossible for us to identify. Surdas will never associate with the Krishna of Mirabai. Mirabai can never associate with the Krishna of Surdas. They don't care. What is your problem? See, their total identification with that particular deity. And keep practicing that. To aid that only we have all this. So there what happens, sir? A point would come where you start treating that deity as though a being. Right? Then what happens, sir? All that emotional possibilities, all that is possible for happening to you, you attribute it to God and take care. That's why we give rest to God. He's sleeping. They'll put him in Jula. Actually, they'll put him in Jula and, sing. He's sleeping. Don't disturb. Quiet. And morning, wake up. God should be woken up like this. There's a system. He's waking up. And the first thing he is going to see, who? This, that. Then step 1, step 2. Then they have to give oil bath to him. Then this water. Oh, he doesn't like that. Tulsi Allah you should not give to Shiva. Tulsi is only for Vishnu. Imagine you take Tulsi Mala to Shiva temple. You say, no, go there. Bilva only for Shiva. Tulsi is not for Shiva. Not allowed. Rudraksha is not for Vishnu. Rudraksha Vishnu bodu, Shiva na bodu sir. As I know, for Namki Vaste, Shiva is his devotee, so he gives put on, that's all. But actually that is not, it is Shiva only. All this is created by whom? The devotional people, devotional type, who are incapable of doing dhyana, single pointedness. To develop that single pointedness, for the devotional people, these recommendations are given. This is abhyasa for devotional people. So devotional people will move from Ishtadevata, Ekarupa or Virat Rupa. That entire range is there for these people. Like we had 3 steps for them also, no? Same way here. Virat Rupa, Saguna, Ekarupa. In that Ekarupa, Ishtadevata. Ishtadevata, in that particular form only they will listen to. Like Hanuman will not listen to Krishna. So Krishna has to go inside, change costume and come out as Rama. Then he will listen to him. Otherwise he will not listen. He will not fall at his feet. He will say, get lost. So he says what? Why? He has to come in that form only. That is Ishtadevata, one form. Then you expand and expand and expand to accommodate the whole world as God. And then such an expanded mind will be capable of focusing on Nirguna. Okay. Otherwise, not possible. Dhyanam is not possible. Single thought is not possible. So, first, Ishtadevata, expand, then come to the next step. So, for that expansion, they give Ishtadevata to Ekarupa to Vishwarupa. This is devotional direction. Right. If you are not able to do, he comes one step down. He says, do this. Somewhat we can relate to. 10. 11 possible. We'll see you next class.